Bray Wyatt's been out of action for a few months now and even missed WrestleMania due to an undisclosed injury. With that being said, there's an update regarding his character, and I'd consider it good news because the Fiend might be returning, and that is a great idea. I love the Fiend and would like to see it come back. This is what the report said. WWE wasn't overly fond of how the pitch black match went down and the new Bray Wyatt masked character that debuted at the Royal Rumble, as they felt it wasn't as good as the Fiend and wouldn't sell the merchandise, etc. like the Fiend did. They've been in talks regarding it since after Royal Rumble earlier this year. They stopped for a while and were picked up again within the last month or two. I have to say I completely agree. The pitch black match was terrible. I didn't like it one bit. It was ass. It was so bad that I was extremely disappointed. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight as a singles match would have been far better. It would have been significantly better. Even the entire gimmick and storyline just isn't cutting it for me. I'm not a fan of it. I thought there was some potential at first, but I just don't like Uncle Howdy at all. I don't want to see him on my screen anymore. What I did like is the Fiend. I wanted to see that return when Bray originally came back in 2022, and I'm glad that WWE officials are also seeing it and agreeing with that opinion. With that being said, they need to book him right this time around if they do want the Fiend to come back. I don't want him to come back as the Fiend only to be buried again. That's so stupid. He's got to win matches, dominate, and be involved in very good storylines. If WWE cannot do that, it's not worth bringing him back just to sell some merch, and I totally understand why Bray wouldn't want to do it. You got to do it the right way or you don't do it. I could totally see Bray Wyatt being the one to shut down the idea, but I hope that he's open to it. The Fiend was easily one of the best characters in professional wrestling history, so I say let's run it back, bring back the Fiend, and actually book him well this time around, and I'm sure that Triple H could do a good job of that. WWE released Roman Reigns' schedule for the summer, and it's looking like he'll be here for the next 2 months as a full-timer, basically. He's gonna miss some shows, but that doesn't really matter. I actually think it's fine to miss a week here and there. It also makes his appearances feel even more special when he does that. Some people find it interesting that he isn't booked after SummerSlam, and this got people thinking that he might drop the WWE Undisputed Championship at that pay-per-view, but I don't think that's the case. He'll probably take a break after, or they'll release a new batch of dates that he will be working. They'll release his new schedule is what I'm trying to say. He's not dropping the belt until at least WrestleMania 40, and even then, it might not even happen until he breaks Hulk Hogan's record, which is until September of 2024. Regardless of that, he's going to be here for the next 2 months, so enjoy this run while you got it. You know, he's not going to be a part-timer for the next 2 months, so enjoy that. A couple days ago, there was a report from Fightful that said several talent have been told that Vince McMahon has been making regular changes to WWE shows remotely, which they much prefer to him being backstage. And now it's been reported that some of those changes were directly made for last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. PW Insider is reporting that AJ Styles appearing on Raw was a Vince McMahon call. Portions of the show were reconfigured to include Styles appearing in the opening segment and teaming up with Seth Rollins at McMahon's request. I've got to say that this did indeed feel like a very Vince McMahon move, but I don't think that's a bad thing. You got a segment with two challengers respecting one another, you put over the Judgment Day in that segment, and then it led to a jam-packed main event match with stars. I do wish that it wasn't AJ Styles because it makes the WWE brand split look kind of pointless, but what can you do about it? Vince McMahon made a decent decision, but I do wonder what the original plan was. Whatever it was, it seems like it worked out fine in the end, so we don't got to really think about it, but this does tell me that Vince McMahon has got a lot more power than we're led to believe from Nick Khan. Here's a video of Kevin Owens jumping off of something because he's Kevin Owens and his mission in life is to just jump off of anything and everything. Paul Heyman has been a loyal wise man to Roman Reigns for the last few years. In fact, he's been a loyal wise man to this family for the last 30 years. Never underestimate his loyalty. He's one of the best managers of all time for a reason, and he knew the greatness in that family, and he knew that Roman Reigns was the next GOAT that he would take over as a manager. This tweet was pretty funny. It was a clip of Jeff Hardy botching the Whisper of the Wind, and this dude said that it was like LeBron missing that dunk in the playoffs, and I can't lie, that one hurt. LeBron really missed. Seeing these legends get older and older means I'm getting older, and that makes me sad. I remember Jeff Hardy and LeBron in their prime. They were beasts, they were animals, they were the best on top of their game, and now we're coming to an end. Apparently that Jeff Hardy spot was him selling a kayfabe injury. I don't know if that's the case or not, but still, it's sad regardless. Like I said, time is moving on and we can't stop it, and the past is the past. Nostalgia is hitting me anyways. Bret Hart woke up today and finally chose to spread some positivity, and that is a real shocker. He spoke about Rey Mysterio and the respect he has for him. This is what he said about Ray. Rey Mysterio is maybe one of the greatest. I wish I could have had one match with Rey Mysterio just to be in the ring with him. He's one of my favorites, and he's always a class act. Very few wrestlers have the respect that I have for Rey Mysterio. I don't think anyone hates Rey Mysterio other than his own son, and this is even more proof. He's just too likable. Rey Mysterio is an absolute legend in the business. A Bret Hart and Rey Mysterio match sounds like it would have been straight fire. I wish it would have happened in WCW, but that unfortunately did not because of the Bret Hart injury that stopped that from happening. It's a new dream match that I'm going to be thinking about forever now, so thank you, Bret Hart, for what you did. In a recent episode of his podcast, Impulsive, Logan Paul mentioned that he missed wrestling. This is what he said. "I'm so hungry to get back in there, dude. I'm so hungry to get back in there, and I just got cable here in Puerto Rico. I've been watching Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown." I think many wrestling fans miss seeing him in that ring as well. Logan Paul could potentially be in the Money in the Big Ladder match, and there's a real chance that he wins it. Even if he doesn't, I'm sure he's going to deliver some insane spots like he usually does in his matches. As for SummerSlam, I think he's got to go head-to-head with Ricochet. Those two would put on an instant classic together. Their Royal Rumble spot was nuts, so I say let's run it back in a singles match and let them give us some magic. I saw this tweet asking which rivalry has to go, and it's between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Roman and Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk and John Cena versus Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. And I think everyone on this planet can say that this is the easiest decision. It's definitely Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. That feud went on far too long. It wasn't the best. It was very repetitive, and there aren't moments that I think we're going to remember for years to come like the other feuds. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And to end this video, I want to share a clip from the Sam Roberts podcast with John Cena, where John Cena explained the SummerSlam 2014 squash match with Brock Lesnar, who came up with the idea and his mindset behind that squash match. It's really compelling stuff, and you should definitely watch the entire podcast. Link will be in the bio.
Brock is one of the most giving performers when it's his time, and he will make anyone look great. But I remember Brock being like, "Hey, you know, I had dinner with Steve Austin last night, and we came up with this idea where I just start suplexing you and don't stop and then beat you." I said, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, we both collectively agreed that you just beat the streak. We ruin that if we have a 50-50 match. It's not my night, kid." Arn Anderson in the back of my head. I hope he understands the influence he had on my wisdom of this. It's not my night. How do you showcase the enormity of that win? How do we not waste the Undertaker's streak? It's not just Brock winning a match. It's all those matches that he had to lead up to losing. If I go out and have a 50-50 match and he just sneaks over, we wasted all that. But if you take that unbelievable feat with another unbelievable feat, now we have passed the energy. And that is how you make someone. And then that someone can make others.